Alright, let's see. Inventory. We've leveled up, so I'm going to quickly toss these gloves on. Now that we've got an upgrade. Silent Archive. Brilliance, tenacity, and of secrets. Okay, this glowing scroll is decorated with runes that seem to twist and swim about the parchment whenever you try and read them. So it's a trinket.
So we'll never learn its secrets? What if you give it to Lantry?
Nah. Lantry has got his own thing.
Well, you haven't... Did you give him the new staff?
Not yet. Gotta find it.
It's up in your inventory.
Yeah, sorry. I've also got some...
Oh, the lens.
Yeah, I got the lens and some other things. Okay, so Hydromancy, no. Sigil of Emotion.
It's the one on the far left.
No. Control Lightning, no. Here we go. So what's this? Steadfast Insignia. Alright. There we go. Good stuff. And I forgot. Last thing, we leveled up. What do I put points into? I guess ability and spell cooldown reduction. Seems to be what I put all my points into anyway. Okay, second wind. Once per combat when you fall to low health, you let out a battle cry. That's not super useful. Additional spell slots to everyone in the party. That is super useful. Bonus to their attributes. Not a bad idea. Extra weapon sets. But no, that's not useful. Okay, Arbiter of Knowledge.
Well, that's your theme.
Yes. Okay, so my lore's gone up. I'll manage that later. And we also have two spell slots, which is also cool.
So... You're reporting back to Ash.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering where the breaking point is. When do
See,
you have
I don't
to
know
break
if we get a breaking point necessarily.
Like, when is he going to betray you? Or when is Kairos going to come after you?
I almost feel like maybe the disfavored end up on our side. Maybe? It's possible.
I don't know if they would abandon Kairos to be with you. I mean, maybe if enough Archons decided to rise up against Kairos, it would make sense.
Yeah, but we haven't been doing that with this game. Oh, and Meothis.
Oh, okay, so this is on the subject of the spires, but this was about Kairos. Archon dude. Oh, she's starting to call you an Archon. Allow me to address you by such a title before it becomes fashionable to do. I pride myself as a woman who stays ahead of the trends. While Kairos smites some, but allows others to exist, is a question we all ponder. The Overlord can certainly appear arbitrary, and if I've learned anything, that's the point. Kairos is intentionally aloof and distant, both for matters of personal security and because if you had to wrangle the most powerful entities of Terratus, you'd need to keep them from getting too comfortable. To me, the most obvious answer is that Kairos knows exactly what you are doing. She probably approves of your actions and is likely working at every opportunity to create a situation wherein you are acting in your own self-interest while satisfying her ambitions as well. Yeah. You have to consider one important detail. There's nowhere left in Terratus to conquer now that the Tears are in the Overlord's grasp. What would the great generals even do in a time of peace? The voices of Narat is barely tolerable when you have need of a spy master. Why keep around such a monster when you no longer have need of such a gruesome weapon? I would argue it is in Kairos' interest that the Tears be a costly invasion that claims the lives of as many of the Archons as possible. Not enough meat on the Tears to keep too many sharks sated very long. Kairos ordered everyone to take Ascension Hall or die. The or die must have been an acceptable option, correct? If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say that you have the unspoken backing of the Overlord. It's not like Bleedin' Mark can't find you whenever he wants. Meothis. And
Wait,
that's it?
Do we have a response? We might have. Yeah, we're done. Yep. Nothing else we can say because we've totally talked to her.
Okay, so all she said is that you're playing into Kairos' hands, that she's trying to get rid of Archons, and that you're the means to do so.
Kind of makes sense.
Hey, there are like highlighted bubbles on Barrick and
Oh, yep,
Lantry. That's something interesting.
That's twice now. by Kyros's icy nethers, twice! Edicts have been broken before, but never in all my many years have I heard of one person doing it twice.
By Kairos' icy nethers?
I like the fact that he's shirtless for this, too.
But, what? Is that to say that she's just cold? That's just weird.
Let's see. Anybody can do it. Just think about the wording of the edict and you'll find Kyros's left options.
That's like saying winning a war is as simple as raising a giant army and making all the right maneuvers. Knowing what must be done and actually doing it, well, that's the dividing line between being a legend and being forgotten.
So, what's on your mind? Did you want to discuss matters of the present, or do you prefer more scholarly rant?
Let's discuss current matters.
Yep, well,
What?
near.
One moment, my friend. Just let...
Okay, we've read it, that one.
Of
Current
course.
matters.
How can I help?
What are your thoughts on our traveling associates?
Are you asking for an objective assessment? Or is this your way of saying you want to gossip?
Oh, wait. You just ask him about everyone?
Yeah, I could. So I don't care too much. Like, I do, but I also don't.
I'm just wondering if you actually gain loyalty points by talking with them, like...
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Speak of something else. Questions
I am
for you.
nothing if not a semi-reliable.
What can you tell me about the
font
School of Ink and
knowledge.
Quill?
Sure.
What did you want to discuss?
What can you tell me of the School of Ink and Quill?
You mean what's left of them? What would you like to know?
Let's see. What's the core philosophy of the School of Ink and Quill? School of Ink
The
and Quill.
sages are archivists, academicians, and arcanists. Our mission is to preserve the knowledge of today for the good of tomorrow. Though we are known for our magic, few realize that most sages concern themselves with scribal work. Only a select few have the talent or focus to work the sigils. Each sage benefited from the scrolls of learning that came before him, and so each sage must repay this boon by gathering, authoring, or translating new texts to the stacks. But all that's a bit generous. It's no secret that the sages were far more happy to add knowledge than to share it.
Why did the sages resist Kairos?
Why, indeed. As historians, it is our place to document, not direct. Let others rage and resist. Ours is the duty to record. The decision to defy Kairos was not unanimous, nor one decided upon lightly. The laws of Kairos would forbid much of the knowledge contained in the Vellum Citadel. The elder sages feared, rightly perhaps, that the Overlord would put an end to our tradition of stockpiling knowledge. The Battle of the Vellum Citadel was a battle to preserve knowledge, but our actions will be remembered as treason against the will of Kairos.
Tell me a bit about the school's history.
The sages trace their days to a generation after Five Wives, when the first settlers moved west. The Vellum Citadel began as a scholastic retreat, slowly blossoming into the finest library in the continent across the generations.
What's Five Wives? We keep hearing about it. Five Wives is the name for both the historic landfall of the seafaring human settlers in the Tiers, as well as the name of the archipelago where the first, now largely abandoned settlements were founded. In centuries past, the historic event was known more properly as the Five Wives and the Seven Husbands. For as the story goes, 7 ships made landfall, and after 2 seasons of difficult living, the 7 husbands got back on their boats and see what else was nearby, and all perished. Many suggest that this is just a parable used to explain the gender roles of the land ownership and admiralty of the Tiers, but the nobility take the origin story quite seriously, and nearly every noble house in the Tiers has a family mythology linking them back to these 5 fabled matriarchs. What, so the men just left on their ships and the women stayed? Or something?
Yeah, the men were going to explore around a bit and then they all died, presumably.
The centuries fly by, and suddenly, the Vellum Citadel is the definitive archive in the Tiers. The sages branched out into carrying missives for wealthy clients, training noble children to read. The peasants may have feared us, but we remained useful enough to the kings and queens of the Tiers to avoid war. When Kairos came to the Tiers, that's when our hubris came back to haunt us. The Elder Sages, the other Elder Sages, not I, believed our spellcraft was enough to ward off any siege. Well, we know how that turned out.
What sort of sigils do the sages practice?
Traditionally, we use magic only so that we may observe and archive. So that means magic of concealment and protection. But, in truth, we have amassed a great wealth of knowledge. Before the Vellum Citadel fell, any given subject of magic had at least one sage practicing it.
Something else? Questions for you?
I am nothing if not a semi-reliable font of knowledge. What did you want to discuss?
I'd like to know more about you. Okay. Let's go.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
I want to
What
talk...
about Barrick? What is he going to say?
Oh, yeah, Barrick did have something to
It
say.
is rare enough that anyone has the opportunity to proclaim an edict, much less break one. How are you holding up, Fatebinder?
Let's see.
Wait. I
Ah.
want to read these. To be honest, my head hurts. I tell you, my power is greater than the man was sitting.
The Arcana can seem overpowering at times, but I think I have the fortitude to maintain, or just dick move. I want to go with number 3 just because it fits my backstory.
Okay, he just might get fear or something.
I'm glad to hear it. Since you seem more comfortable with magic than I had credited, I'll try not to worry myself over your well-being. Just thought I'd check in. What can I do for you?
Okay. Yep. Just kind of the basic, somebody commenting on...
I'm surprised
modern
Siren doesn't have
topics.
any more to say.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Well, maybe we don't have enough loyalty or any number of things. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to quickly... No, I've already talked to that merchant and bought whatever I could, I think.
Yep. Hopefully he hasn't executed his daughter. We find out some other heinous thing
No, I
that's
don't think we
happened.
hear about her at all. Period. Okay, get a quick save before we do anything. Disturbing news arrived at Ironhearth regarding your conduct at the Burning Library. I'll let your report speak of it for itself, but let it be known that I have misgivings. Ash worries the ends of his beard and looks to you with an air of expectation. First things first, the Edict of Fire. Is it truly over then? Let's see. What's left of the library burns no more. That is a great relief. Seldom is an edict meant to last for long, and the implications of the Edict of Fire have always troubled me. I've stayed up nights wondering if the flames of Kairos' wrath might spread out from the library and consume the whole of the tiers, but that is ridiculous. The Overlord would never allow such a fate to befall us. Thank you for putting an old man's fears to rest. Alright, my efforts at the Burning Library were successful. Then the Scarlet Chorus have been ousted from the contested lands, and the forbidden knowledge wrenched from their grasp? Tell me more. Let's see, Merrick as well, and in the contested lands. Good. You can maintain the peace and ensure that the wisdom of the sages falls into no undeserving hands. Have you anything else to...
Killed Sensor in her gang.
Let's see. I've killed Sensor and her gang. The Tears will not miss another louse, or her brood of vermin, and neither will I. Good work. And the last one. I have the Silent Archive. We don't have a choice here.
Oh, okay.
You, Fatebinder, I tasked you with keeping the archive away from the prying eyes, not claiming it for yourself. Surely you can't help but recognize this is a breach of Kairos' law. Let's see.
So you can say you want the knowledge yourself. You can lie about Tunon, at which point Tunon might be angry with you, or I have no excuse. What are you gonna say?
Don't know.
Do you want?
Do we want to reload and see if we can go talk to Tunon? We haven't checked in with him for ages.
Yeah, but...
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna do that. Wrath.
Wait,
That's all.
who did you gain wrath with?
No. We're gonna reload.
Oh, but we're
Ignore
missing
all this.
so much.
Ignore all this. Don't worry. We're missing all this because I'm skipping it so we can go talk to...
Well, now he's talking about beasts.
Don't care. Not interested. We're going to go talk to Tunon about the Silent Archive.
What if Tunon wants it?
Yeah.
No, we don't want to...
It's a glorified trinket.
No. We don't want to be privy to Tunon. I mean, yes, it is a glorified trinket, but if we're going to be an Archon ourselves, can't just be.
Well, yeah, but let's go see what Tunon has to say. Considering we haven't even talked to the guy for a long time.
Watch us get there, and Tunon just doesn't even allow us to have an audience.
Yeah, we don't even get to talk to Tunon. That'd be unfortunate. Could happen. But yeah, let's see what Tunon says.
You just want to see if you can make the lie into a acceptance.
Well, if we have that as a lie, I have my party before venturing forth. Dang it. There we go. Oh, what's this? Artifact. Okay, artifacts, powerful magical items. We know about that. Forge upgrade. Why are we getting these tutorials now? Also, we've been recording for this for like 3 hours.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. No, I like this game. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah. I thought we were going to be done with it by now.
Because, like, I've heard from a lot of people that it's short.
Oh, Bleeding Mark wants to talk with you.
Well, he's there.
Well, I mean, he has a yellow mark.
Well, so does Lady Lucretius.
Oh, that's true. Oh, so you're just going to talk with him about his bracers?
Yep.
Because you have favor 3?
There's a reason you're gaping at me like I just gutted a kid. Gutting you, kid. Or did you just like to stand around and stare? The bracer you're wearing is rather eye-catching. Mm-hmm. Bet you're thinking it's something that'd look even better on you, right, kid? This? He waves his arm in the air, examining the blacker-than-black bracer. The strapping armlet that appears simultaneously solid as obsidian and diaphanous as a sigh. Almost a living pulsing thing. That'd be my binding of shadows. Want it? Damn straight I do.
Wait, he just gave it to you?
With a gruff grunt and some difficulty, he ratchets the bracer off, so it is solid after all, and tosses it to you one-handed. Careful with it. He warns when you accept the gift, not only weapons can be double-edged swords.
You're required to the binding of... What the frick did it do to you?
I don't know. I got it, though. All right, let's take a look at this. Shade skin. Okay.
Oh, does it just make you...
Reduce damage taken. Shift into a shadow version of yourself. On this form, deal bonus arcane damage with each attack and gain bonus damage reduction. These effects scale with the Binding of Shadows renown. This bracer was once worn by Bleeding Mark. Is made of an unfamiliar substance. Part velvet, soft darkness, and part hardened insect chitin. It is said that the darkness is more oppressive when an Archon of Shadows walks the face of Tyranny. The Tyranny, I don't know. The magic stemming...
I said just say Tyranny.
Yeah, stemming from his power draws on the substance of shadows with an air of welcome and invitation, treating the dark less as something more than an arcane force. Less as something more than an arcane force. I don't know. Anyway, as such, a bracer that allows the wearer to embody their darker self has overtones of danger and risk. Just looking at it too closely causes your vision to swim and sends a wave of nausea rolling through your gut. Well, that was an accident. Anyway, so we got that now, which is cool.
Binding of Shadows renown ability. Shadows Embrace.
Yep. So technically, this is... Binding of Shadows is actually worse than my Oathbound Gloves. But I'll keep it anyway, because it's cool.
Okay. Well, did you want to talk with...
I just want to see what my precision... Oh, interesting. Yeah. I was going to go talk to Tunon. Because there's also Lady Lucretius, but I don't think she's much.
the other... Wait, Chucklebones and the other people?
This is different.
Fatebinder Furia.
The lady, his honor.
I don't believe we spoke with Fatebinder Furia.
No, she's new. This is different.
The circumstances were, well, it was madness, Your Honor. No one could be expected to act in a rational way.
No, perhaps I expect too much of my servants. Is that it?
No, Your Honor. but if you hear my testimony, I think you'll understand.
I see a better alternative that has presented itself. Fatebinder, will you audience this case in my stead? I am curious what manner of conclusions you will draw. I'm ready to hear the case. Excellent. The testimony will begin.
I'm afraid it is a sensitive matter. It was away from the city, seeing to a military camp, when I discovered 2 Scarlet Corps soldiers. She clears her throat and holds her posture from defiling a woman.
A local from the tiers?
Yes, and I understand that it's a common enough occurrence in that army, but I couldn't stand for it. I was brought up to know better. She looks up at Tunon. I was taught to be better.
What happened next?
I fought the recruits. They fought back, but in the end my skills won out. After they were both dead, I let the poor woman go. Their gang boss witnessed everything, though he didn't intervene until it was all done. I was trussed up and brought back to the court in a wagon where you find me now.
And what fine company you made on the journey over. The gang boss spreads his lips open in a toothy grin. Let's see. The defendant is charged with the murder of suspects who are owed the protection of Kairos' law. Fatebinder, I assume you wish to cross-examine.
Ooh, so the victim of the assault isn't a matter of concern because they're, not here now?
Sure, I'll ask. Why isn't the victim of assault a matter of concern? She was a denizen of the tiers. She has no rights under Kairos' law. This is a simple murder trial, and the defendant stands before you. I would caution against burdening yourself with extraneous variables.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Alright?
Yeah, the gang boss didn't intervene.
The gang boss didn't intervene at all? If my recruits couldn't defend themselves against a glorified clerk, then their lives were forfeit as far as I was concerned. Good riddance. I'm still happy to get the satisfaction out of the matter. The law is law.
All he did was joke about how the court would be merciless. Laughed all the way to the bastard city. Didn't seem particularly bent out of shape over his lost men.
That sounds about right. Did you speak with the Tears woman?
Only briefly. She thanked me before fleeing. I didn't want to keep her. She'd suffered enough at the hands of those soldiers.
Wait, what? You don't think she said anything about wishing to join the army? No, she wouldn't have joined.
I kind of want to ask it.
No, but that's subterfuge. That's like victim blaming right
No,
there.
but if she's joining the army, then she'd be one of, afforded Kairos' law.
Oh, I see.
Let's try it. You don't think she said anything about wishing to join the army?
She glances at you with frank curiosity. The army? Not that I... Thinking she frowns.
And she definitely wasn't in the area for that very purpose?
Her eyes widen as she realizes your intent. The Fatebinder nods.
That's right. She only mentioned it in passing, but she told me that she was attempting to make contact with the Scarlet Chorus. To join them. That was when the soldiers attacked.
I hope this has a point, Fatebinder. Do you regret your actions?
She frowns and thought, no. If our positions were reversed, I would have wanted someone to help me on my behalf. Kairos' law be damned.
She glances at Tunon with momentary unease. Ugh.
Suppose I should keep my distance from the Scarlet Chorus in the future. I might not be able to restrain myself if I saw it happening again.
I'm ready to give my ruling. Let's see. Very good. Present the verdict and let us be done with this unpleasant affair. Let's see.
So you want to use your subterfuge?
Yeah, sure. If the woman intended to join the Scarlet Chorus, she was protected under Kairos' law. Your actions were just. Oh.
You've gained the wrath of Tunon.
Well.
She delivers a bow of gratitude, holding your eye contact the entire time.
Thank you for hearing my case.
Barely any wrath, though. Look at that.
93 to 31.
Yeah, we're fine. Fatebinder Furia, you have ducked Kairos' punishment with a technicality. be more mindful of your delicate position in the future. Your grasp of Kairos' law troubles me. It reeks of independent thoughts honed beyond the principal walls of my court, and yet it is your ruling. Dismissed.
So he didn't like it.
Wow. I don't like the Scarlet Chorus. Anyway. You return. It is gratifying to see that the war has not caused you to forget your roots. What is it you wish to know? Let's see. Wish to speak of matters of the law? Then you are well situated, for my court is the legal heart of this corrupt and uncivilized realm. Let's see. What matters draw your curiosity? You're already well versed in Kairos' law, but I'm happy to discuss the particulars.
What's the magician's folly?
Sure. Remind me of the magician's folly. Practitioners of the arcane arts must be sanctioned by one of Kairos' guilds, such as the Blood Chanters or Forgebound. Rogue magicians with a tenuous grasp on unknown powers will not be tolerated. A sanctioned mage whose spellcasting causes damage to life or property is lawfully deemed innocent, as long as they practice their art in the surface of Kairos. All is forgiven.
What, so we wrongfully had to accuse that chorus dude?
Sort of. Sort of yes, sort of no. He totally was doing it willfully.
Forbidden knowledge.
Okay, I'm curious about the restriction on forbidden knowledge. Kairos herself sets the standards of what can and cannot be known. These restrictions are rarely enforced, but they are worth taking into account. During the war, for example, Kairos deemed the knowledge of the Vellum Citadel taboo. No one may not possess the knowledge of that fallen repository, save Kairos herself. Calling it a taboo seems like a bit of an overkill, but to play Kairos' advocate, the world would hardly be safer if all had access to the lore of making poisons or the art of arming brigands in fine bronze. Let's see. This is for the protection of her subjects. Before the coming of Kairos, during the ages of anarchy and discord, powerful knowledge in undeserving hands leveled empires without thought or mercy. Kairos has no desire to revisit those dark times. Am I beholden to these laws? That would not be in question. We are all subjects of Kairos. Her laws define and regulate our very way of life. That said, as an agent of law, you are granted more leeway than soldier or citizen. You may find yourself compelled to commit morally questionable acts in the name of Kairos. If it serves the court's justice, much may be forgiven. If the court finds you any of your actions suspect, we will summon you to answer for yourself. Your testimony will be heard and judgment rendered.
You see, I'm wondering if you're going to be brought to court and put to death if you do too much against Kairos.
Let's see. Let's discuss the old walls. Old walls are forbidden as their contents and their denizens. Owning any item from the old walls is considered trespass, regardless of how it came into your possession. Mind that in the course of your travels. As the old walls extend across much of the tiers in the Northern Empire alike, Kairos permits her servants to pass only where she has sculpted the landscape to permit traverse. Under no circumstance are you to enter the breach in the old walls, even for a task as innocent as crossing to the other side. If these restrictions seem too severe, I would remind you that they are for the protection of Kairos' subjects. The Overlord has no desire to see harm needlessly inflicted upon her loyal followers. Interesting. Yeah, we probably actually will be called to justice at some point. Previous questions. Huh. Curious about you, Archon. Not a trait I encourage in my servants. Too often if I witness such activity leading down a path of lawlessness. Let's see. What would you like to know? Why is curiosity such a problem? Because my vassals are not selected for their independence of thought. You're an agent of the law, the execution of which falls within strict confines. Let's see. Your intellect may aid the tasks ahead of you, but your unwavering obedience is of greater value to me. Don't you want me to interpret Kairos' law to fit any circumstance? Naturally, but take care not to let your intellect veer you from the straightforward path. I've seen it happen and lost more than one pupil who thought themselves above their station, convinced that they knew better.
What's the deal with your mask? That's funny.
What happened to those pupils? Anyone who oversteps their bounds is given the opportunity to amend their ways. Those who fail to heed my warnings show contempt for Kairos' peace and are treated accordingly. The purpose of law is to set the standard for others. Though I'm generous with the freedom I offer to the Fatebinders, you are still inextricably tied to Kairos' law. Straining that tether to a breaking point will reflect poorly upon you.
Ooh, how did you come up with the office of Fatebinders?
Okay. Indirectly, yes. Just as I am the representative of Kairos' law across Territus, you are the face of my judgment for the people. I took inspiration from the Overlord's example, as we all should. The people needed an approachable face to settle their grievances, and I am not available to adjudicate on every sharecropper's dispute. The Fatebinders were an inevitable solution. What does it mean to be an Archon? I'm a figure of power and significance. Under Kairos' mandate, I am able to exercise my authority for the benefit of all. Had I not earned the Overlord's approval, I would not stand tall before you.
Ooh, question 1's pretty loaded, but it's nice.
We could try it.
I want to try it. Did you come into power yourself, or did Kairos foster your talents?
An astute question. Doubtless I exhibited some spark of potential on my own, insignificant, though enough to accomplish deeds of note. Only under Kairos' tutelage have I grown to those heights. Could anyone become an Archon? Absolutely not. Only a precious few grow into this authority. Were it otherwise, Territus would descend into pandemonium. Of those few who rise into power, fewer still have the self-control to make lawful use of their talents. And of those who can, fewer still are determined worthy of Kairos' approval.
Yeah, deemed, but determined is also the same.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting tired of reading.
I would think it would be wrong to ask about the mask.
Yep.
But you don't want to talk to Regalis or anyone?
I just want to see if there's anything useful. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like this place has changed too much. Concerns about the war.
Wait, so you're free to share them in my confidence. Oh.
That's just war stuff.
No, but like, I wonder if you can get stuff out of this, though.
Not really.
Well, the second one with Callie, you were just expressing an opinion. I don't know if she would report back to someone that, oh, dude thinks that this is all a monumental waste.
I don't know. Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we should have just tossed the scroll into the lava.
Why? We don't even know what the consequences were.
I don't think the consequences are terribly dire either. We have not exactly sidestepped the law too much. I'm also, like, really, really tired right now, so it's starting to mess with my head.
Okay, we'll be able to stop. But now we have to do the whole,
Oh, shoot, I was gonna go to the Sunset Spire, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, we'll have to talk to what's-his-face again. I mean, we got a little bit of lore out of it, but... we'll figure that out.